darkness, I found my light. With Jesus by my side, I conquer every fight. Walking in faith, I won't be afraid. His love surrounds me, my fears will fade. Hope is my anchor, love is my guide. With Jesus I'll overcome, I'll never hide. A warrior of strength, in His name I rise. In a world of chaos, His love never dies.
She's an award-winning author, speaker, owner of GodlyGranny.com, and podcast host, sharing the truth with you. This is the Michelle Moore Show.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back. I am still not Michelle Moore. I just play her on TV. I had such a good time with you guys the other day. She said I could come back one more time by myself because I had behaved fairly well. So I don't promise that today, that we're going to have a lot of fun. So before I say anything else, I want to say, please go get a pad and pen. Today, I'm going to give you some really good information you're going to want to remember. And if you know anybody that you love, I would strongly suggest you text them and let them know about this live today, because they're going to want to be here too. So thank you for joining me. Today we're going to talk about something that doesn't get nearly enough attention, and that's scrubs. So last week, Michelle and I had a conversation about some products that we don't talk about all the time, and one of those was a scrub. Now, for those of you who say, I've never used a scrub and I'm just fine, or I don't know why I would want to use a scrub, or, I'm older, my skin is thin, I'm thinking, maybe a scrub's not for me because I don't want the grit, I don't want a sandpaper feel. Scrubs are not that. Well, let me take that back. Godly Granny scrubs are not like that. So the first one I want to discuss today is producer Ron's very favorite, which is the Hawaiian Avocado Microderm Abrasion Scrub. First of all, why scrub? Now, before everything did what it did back in 2020, before we knew as much as we know now about chemtrails and Morgellons and parasites, kids were still bringing home what we understood to be traditional germs from school and getting the whole family sick, right? So scrubbing is very important for issues you may not be aware of. That's just the traditional uses. Did you know that your skin is supposed to turn over every 28 days? Why don't you think about that? Every 4 weeks, your skin is supposed to turn over, which means it comes to fruition, it lives a full life cycle, it dies, and it's supposed to fall off. Skin doesn't just fall off anymore unless you've had a sunburn and you're peeling. You got to help it along a little. And one of the most important things to understand is that if you've got dead skin stuck to your skin, which I promise you we all do, it's stuck by something called sebum, which is the natural body's oil that dries between layers. And it works like hard glue to keep dead skin cells on you and whatever's on those dead skin cells. So a lot of people will say to me, I moisturize and my skin doesn't get any softer. There's an easy answer for that. You're not scrubbing, because what happens when the dead skin doesn't fall off, you're moisturizing dead skin. And I don't care how much you moisturize it, it's not going to come back to life. So in addition to getting rid of environmental toxins, makeup, sweat, deodorant, if you're not using Granny's all natural laundry detergents and those things like that, if you're wearing something from a Temu or Shein, or you're buying clothes for your family because they're inexpensive and they're wearing those, all of those microplastics and everything are going onto the skin, if not into the skin and into the bloodstream, because as you know, 80% of what goes on the skin goes in the skin and 60% can get in the bloodstream. So you better know your product maker and you better know your product. Enter a scrub. Now, if you've tried a scrub in the past, not Granny's, and you weren't terribly impressed, may I suggest you didn't get a real scrub. It's not unlike me to call a competitor and order a scrub just to see what they're doing. Nobody's doing what she's doing. First of all, it's built into a soft soap base, so it's a time saver. You wet your skin, you put it on, you go in circular motions, you rinse it off. It's a one and done. You've exfoliated, you've soaked, and you've moisturized all in one step. So let's talk about the avocado scrub just a little bit. Hawaiian avocado is wonderful when you want exfoliation and that moisturizing, conditioned skin afterward. It's one of those products where you get out of the shower and immediately start touching your arm and, like, feel this. And that is, avocado is a healthy fat. It's also one of the best sources of whole food vitamin E. So if you want a delicate scrub that feels good the entire time you're using it, this isn't a salt scrub, people. You're not going to put this on and there's going to be a sting anywhere. I strongly suggest, if you haven't tried this particularly for your face, this is a very serious anti-aging, wrinkle busting. It's going to fill out where you've got inlaid areas. As you can tell, I haven't had a scrub today. I've been kind of busy. It's also very gentle. You can use it every day, but you only need to use a scrub 2 or 3 times a week, especially on your face. Now, the other thing is men. Did you know that most of the time, if your man's got rough hands, or let's say that they come in and they've been working in the garage and they've got grease and they've got the smell and all that, they got the dirty fingernails, this is perfect for them. And what I love about it is usually most men don't even know they need a scrub, and they try it and they'll start using it a lot more often. And then your man's got softer hands, and there's nothing wrong with that. So if you want a gentle microdermabrasion scrub that's full of avocado, full of vitamin C, and full of vitamin E, that's the Hawaiian avocado gentle microdermabrasion scrub. Sometime I think we ought to have producer Ron, if we can win a bet, come on and do a mask live on the show. What do you guys think about that? I think that would be wonderful. Hey, Cousin Do. Hey, Reliable Beauty Reviews. Hey, Grammy. Thank y'all for joining us. Next up, we've got the activated charcoal face and body scrub. Her label's just pretty. She does a good job with those. I love the colors. I just love everything about it. And I love the scrub, because if you need to detox, and I promise you, you do, this is the scrub for you. And the other thing that most people don't understand is you can use scrubs in your hair. And people say, you don't know how much hair I have. That's what Michelle said. You don't know with these curls how much hair. I would never rinse that out. And I was like, just try it, because she likes clarifying shampoos and bar soaps and things like that. I said, just put some in your hair. She called me. She couldn't believe how well it did at clarifying, and then she got it out. And she only needed a little bit, because remember, the soap base is already in there, which is the shampoo. So it's perfect for that. The other thing is, if you have started using an all-natural deodorant, any of Godly Granny's all-natural deodorants, or you want to, or you just there's a lot of body odor going on. The more parasites that we carry, the food the way it is now, not being real food, the more odor we're all carrying around, and we're getting older, and that comes with its own set of odors. I love this because I love to do it under my arms. I use natural deodorant too. So when you start using natural deodorant, sometimes it takes a little while for your body to pull out. I'm sorry, we're having a really bad storm here. If it glitches, it starts pulling out the toxins from your previous deodorants and everything else. And what most people don't know, I get excited. I've had a good day. What most people don't know is that when you sweat, which we want you to sweat, that's healthy, almost all of the toxins come out of your left armpit. Who knew that, right? It's the proximity to the heart and the way that muscle pumps blood. So you may find that you smell more on your left side than your right side, and that's very normal. That's what this scrub is for. Again, it's in a soft soap base, so it's a one and done, perfect for head to toe. Next up, we've got the Demerara. I'm sorry, I can't read that fine print. Oh, I need some pearl powder, which we are working on, by the way. So the Demerara scrub, let me tell you, this was our first scrub. It's our oldest scrub. And let me tell you what I love about it. The sugar grains are a little bigger, and they are naturally cut a little bit like a diamond. So they have more surface area when you're using them to do a bit of a deeper cleanse. Again, it's gentle, doesn't tear skin, doesn't hurt, doesn't sting in any way. The other thing okay, here's how you can know about it. Have you ever been to a restaurant and you ordered maybe an unsweet tea? Why would anybody do that? I have no idea. But let's say that you ordered an unsweet tea and they brought you stevia in the raw. That's Demerara sugar scrub. It's an organic sugar. It's an organic sugar from what used to be French Guiana. And the reason that's important is when you use this scrub, you are actually remineralizing from the outside in, which is a beautiful thing, because then you get the exact same benefits of a salt scrub but without the sting. And this is another way to add vitamins and minerals into your body, because in this little jar are vitamins A through K, A, B, C, D, E, K. I don't think there's an F vitamin that would go in a scrub. There is an F vitamin, but not that would go in a scrub. And it's got 212 minerals, microminerals, and micronutrients in one jar. The other thing I love about these scrubs is they're all concentrated. So even though that's an 8-ounce jar, you're getting closer to 10 and a half ounces worth of usage, because you only need a little bit and it goes a long way. And it's important to wet your skin prior to putting it on, because when your skin is warm and wet and your pores are open, they're the most receptive. So that's when the most good can be done. Next up, this is one of Michelle's favorites. It's the Superfood Scrub. This is a very fine small grain sugar. So this is perfect for mature skin, thinning skin, skin that tears easily if you're going through any of that. The other thing I love about this one, this is very much a superfood because it's got acai stem cell extract. Now, if you don't know about acai cherry, which it doesn't smell like cherry, that's the name of the actual fruit, it's got 50 times more vitamin C than an organic orange. You think if that's a lot. And this also is part of Granny's collagen line. There's a lot of collagen peptides in here. And collagen is what all of our skin and hair is made out of. It's the building blocks or the scaffolding, so to speak. Next up is the superfood. Now, she's got these in two specific vitamin C. She's got blood orange, which I know I've seen the reviews for this is everybody's favorite. And then she has unscented. And the reason we did that is a lot of people with eczema, psoriasis, and rosacea have flaky skin. And we wanted a soft way to remove that. This does that, and it does it beautifully. And it's also really good if you've got keratosis pilaris. KP are those bumps that come up on the back of your arms and legs that everybody seems to have now. And what it is, it's a stopped up oil gland underneath a pore. And this will open that up and remove those bumps and do it just beautifully. So if you haven't done a scrub, I strongly suggest you do that before we move to the feet. Next up. I'm sorry, we got the coffee next. My bad. You know what? I should have done some of this right before the show. In case you think I don't have all Godly Granny products sitting everywhere. The Canaan Coffee Scrub. This was the second scrub that we did because my husband loves coffee. I love the smell of coffee. I don't drink a lot of coffee, but I love what caffeine does to the skin. It does several things. It tightens. So this is perfect to use on your face. All I ask is you don't get it in your eye. If you've got dark circles under your eyes, although a lot of that is parasite driven, this is going to help plump that up. That's what caffeine does. It plumps up parts of the skin that are caved in. So this is also very good for wrinkles. But the thing I probably love most about this at my age is it's fantastic for crepey skin. It's fantastic for cellulite. It's fantastic for varicose veins. To the point where if you've got a high school reunion coming up and you get this, the shea butter and the shea scrub for 2 weeks prior, and you do it every day for 2 weeks, you're going to notice a difference because the caffeine breaks down the fatty deposits in there and flushes it out of your system. I love that about this product. Now, they will come back if you don't do a lot of exercising and, a lot of diet changes and things like that. But what I love about it is you give me 2 weeks, I can do a whole lot for any cellulite you've got going on. Okay, next up is the eczema, psoriasis, rosacea, and sensitive skin face and body scrub. We talked about the last one that was unscented for this. There are a few extra things like sea moss and honey in this one that will actually go a long way toward actually healing those dermatological issues, especially if you pair it with the eczema body butter or the psoriasis or the rosacea body butter and balm for redness. Very safe, very effective. Next up, the foot repair scrub. Now, if you can smell your man's shoes from out in the garage while you're indoors, it's time for a little chat. That's where this comes in. The foot scrub we do in the Demerara. We do that because the biggest pores, are on the bottom of your feet. They act like straws that suck everything up into the body and seal it there. What I love about this is the Demerara scrub. The grains are a little fatter, a little thicker. There are a few more nodules on each one of them. And I'm driving minerals up through that pathway. And it goes a long way toward taking off dead, flaky skin, itchy feet, anything like that. It helps with bunions. It helps, that heel that just won't soften up. It's wonderful for that. And one comes in beautiful peppermint essential oil, which does an awful lot, for organisms that may or may not be on the skin. And also putting it on your feet can help with a headache, because that's what Japanese peppermint essential oil is for. And yes, putting it on the bottom of your feet can make a real difference. The other one is unscented, and that's again for people with eczema, psoriasis, or rosacea, because what a lot of people don't know is scent can exacerbate or cause that to have a breakout, and you don't want to do that. These are both beautiful. Peppermint's my favorite, but I don't have any dermatological issues. Next up, the antifungal body and foot repair scrub. Now, a lot of people say, well, I don't have athlete's feet. This is not just for athlete's feet. If you've got sportsmen in the family and they're wearing cups, they're doing 2 firsts for football this time of year, and under the padding's getting a little funky. There's a lot of people that have fungus in their hair. They're dropping fungus on us these days. It's in our food. It's in our vegetables. It's in coffee if you don't have fresh coffee. And that's why we are so careful where we source from. So this can go, in your scalp. It can go anywhere you're having issues. If you're having fingernail fungus, and you don't go to get your nails done, use it yourself there, any part of the body. If you are still going and having your nails done at a public place, please take your own products and ask that they use them, because those very cheap, what I call Wuhan products they're putting on you is exacerbating the issues that you already have or creating issues for you in the future. Next up, the bar soaps. I love every one of these. I remember when Granny wasn't sure if she wanted to carry a soap, and the next thing you know, she's got all these amazing, I think activated charcoal bar soap was the first bar she launched. I know it's the most popular, and she's got it in some beautiful scents. I can't read them from here. Ron, is there any way that you can zoom in on that just a tad? It's okay if you can't. I know that there's unscented, I'm pretty sure. Oh, thank you very much. So that one's charcoal rose. Now, I don't love rose, because rose to me reminds me of my grandmother's toilet water. I would not want to put that in soap. But we paired it with Mediterranean oud, which is a beautiful Asiatic bark from a tree that does some wonderful things. This smells so good. So don't read charcoal rose and think, well, I don't like florals. This is not floral. This is lovely. Next up, tea tree. Oh my word, what tea tree doesn't do? Tea tree kills all the critters. It's wonderful for fungus. If you're trying to keep your kid going to school from getting lice, this is wonderful to use in their hair. Next up, Man of Valor. This is a sexy scent. That was the first men's scent we did, and I went around and took the pulse of some men in my life. And I'm like, if Godly Granny's going to only choose 1 or 2 scents, and it was unanimous on this one. It reminds me a lot of Drakkar Noir. If Drakkar Noir had done it, naturally, this is what it's like. So women, you have been warned. You might have to sign a waiver. Rustic Man. To me, Rustic Man reminds me of Acqua di Gio. Again, done naturally, beautiful. Rustic Man is a little softer, where Man of Valor is not so soft. They are equally sexy, equally yummy. That one, Black Raspberry Vanilla. Well, there you go. We should have led with that, because that seems to be everybody's favorite. Black Raspberry Vanilla. I remember when I first talked to Granny about Black Raspberry Vanilla, she said, I just can't see that. And I was like, you don't understand, there's a cult following, and we don't say cult on this channel for Black Raspberry Vanilla. I don't know what they do with it. I don't know if we want to know, but it is dreamy. It's 50% black raspberry and 50% Tahitian vanilla. It smells so good. Okay. Next up, we've got the eczema, psoriasis, rosacea, keratosis pilaris, and sensitive skin. So this is for anybody that has a dermatological issue or they just don't want any smell on their body. And all of these products are safe for everybody in the household, every age, every stage. Is there another one? Okay. So next up, we must be talking about our men. Are we talking about our men next? Let's do that. Ladies, men have skin too, and exfoliation from the scrubs is not the enemy. So if your man comes in from the garage with hands like 80 grit sandpaper, smelling like the coast of Strait of Hormuz diesel, get that man a scrub. Don't explain it. Don't make a PowerPoint. Just point to the shower. Rough working hands, elbows, knees, grease, grime, feet, especially feet. Apparently there are men walking among us who have forgotten that feet are covered with skin. If Uncle Grover has something growing on his heel that gets more lifelike at every family reunion, we've waited long enough. That's where the scrubs come in. Rough heels, calloused areas, tired feet, dead skin, foot funk. You get physical exfoliation, cleansing, and that wonderful peppermint experience. And don't save it till sandal season. The hygiene habits of our men. Next up, while we're talking about the hygiene habits of our men, and I say that very loosely, we need to have a conversation. Ladies, I know you love him. I know he's a good man. I know he'd fight a bear for you, but apparently he will not always use a washcloth. Some men were given the impression that if shampoo runs down their body in the shower, everything beneath their head is now clean. That is not how this works. Gravity, if there is such a thing, is not a personal hygiene system. Facial hair. They've got it. We've got it. Let's do something about it. Starting with the eyebrows. There should be two. If your left eyebrow has entered into the conversation with the left eyebrow, if your left eyebrow has entered into a land acquisition agreement with your right eyebrow, we need to establish a property line. As we get older, eyebrows become increasingly independent. One's headed north, one is 6 inches long, one has curled back around and appears to be looking at you, and men, bless them, will have an eyebrow hair long enough to pick up FM radio and walk around completely unaware of it. And that don't even talk about the ones that are coming out the ears. Ladies aren't immune either. Somewhere around a certain age, the hair on our legs begins retiring and relocating to our face. You just realized you haven't shaved your legs in 2 weeks. Well, good for you. Don't celebrate yet, sister. Check your chin. Apparently, follicles don't die. They just transfer departments. Good hair starts at the granny shack. It also starts with a great shampoo. Whether you're using our best-selling activated charcoal bar soap as a shampoo for clarifying and follicle funk, or our blondes, grays, and whites have more fun purple shampoo, strengthen and shine, thickening and volumizing, clarifying, or bless your curls shampoo and conditioner sets, you're teaching your hair Southern manners on both sides of the Mason-Dixon line. So when you give the scalp and hair what they need on a cellular level, they know what to do with that. They begin to show up and out. And that's not even the buffet I'm here to discuss today. Our Samson's Mane leave-in spray, 7-in-1 super spray with DMAE is keeping hair cutters in business. From your testimonials and before and after pictures, Granny's grand youngins are having more choices than side parts and comb-overs. It's all about getting back to the roots, cleaning up scalp buildup, taking care of the follicle environment, and height manning that hair shaft so it doesn't break and split because your mama combed your hair while she was mad at dad. I laugh when I see the Rogaine commercials and all those chemical-laced coif commercials. Why declare chemical warfare on your head when you can choose beautiful, thoughtfully selected whole food ingredients that apparently majored in the art of hair braiding? Short answer, you wouldn't. So we launched Granny's 7-in-1 Samson's Mane Super Spray, and voila. You guys are writing and telling us you're no longer arguing with tangles and unruly locks. From refreshing the hair to taming an unruly mane, detangling, frizz busting, conditioning, and helping with strength and shine. That's a legacy product right there on both sides of the family. And don't even get me started on the Noni Plus Dry Oil for hair and body, or Granny's incredible restorative hair masks. If you don't love your hair, you no longer have an excuse, because Granny's barber chair is always open. We're going for news anchor hair, Tammy Faye hair, Miss Texas hair, regardless of your affiliation with the South. Hair with presence, hair with options, hair that no longer has to strategically arrange 17 remaining strands into a zoning diagram and pray the wind doesn't change direction. But we were talking about our men and their face. So let's tame the face space, shall we? If you haven't been married so long that you've quit kissing and your significant other looks like he stepped out of Duck Dynasty, it's time to tame it. I'm not saying the beard has to go. I am saying that if I have to pack provisions to find your mouth, we've crossed the line. Godly Granny has the goods for the facially gifted, from hair pomade to mustache and beard oil to softening, great smelling beard balm. There's a big difference between rugged and I've been missing in the Appalachians since 2019. Beard oil helps condition facial hair and the skin underneath. Beard balm helps soften coarse facial hair, condition it, and add control. Pomade helps put the hair where you want it instead of letting it spend the day making independent decisions. Who needs that? If every kiss feels like you've been rubbing your face against a welcome mat, we have a grooming issue. Wash it, condition it, oil it, balm it, comb it, shape it, make it smell good. We're not trying to change the man. We're just asking the man to stop exfoliating our face with his face. I can't promise miracles, but I might can bring back the romance without carpet burns. And speaking of carpet burns, moisturizing shea spray. If you haven't spritzed on a bit of Granny's moisturizing shea spray, I have to know why. It's the exact same formula as our Skin Silk Butter, that is the exact same formula as our Baby Button Body Butter and our Eczema Cream, because it's so healing. This is nothing like Bath and Body. This is nothing like Victoria's Secret, where you just go in and you get a whole bunch of horrible ingredients in a perfume. This is not that. This is 3 tropical butters, shea cocoa mango. It's got like 40-11 fruit extracts. It's got arnica. It's got cucumber. It's got horsetail. It is amazing for the skin, and it's not oily. You spritz a couple of times, you rub it once, and done. My favorite time to put this on is after the shower or after I've been out in the sun. And the wonderful thing is it can also be a refresh for your hair. It's like a hair serum that smells great. And it is so inexpensive. I'm telling you, if you want great stocking stuffers for year round, whether it's, sun repair or, the dry skin from fall and winter, this is the ticket. It's Skin Silk in a bottle. And you know how much you guys love Skin Silk. Next up, the bee pollen I was just showing you. Here's how much I have left in this jar. And to be honest, I've got 3 jars here. I've got 2 in the bedroom and then this one. Can't go anywhere without it. Now, I know that we've got a bee pollen testimonial, I believe, Ron. That's just so cute. I love what she does with her art. Okay, Susan B. I have been taking the raw bee pollen for over 2 months now, and my last visit to have blood work, seen my doctor, and she asked me what I have been doing because my numbers for sugar, cholesterol, kidneys, etc. are great. Plus, I have come off of 2 blood pressure medications, which one of them I had been on for over 40 years. 40 years. I honestly cannot say enough about these incredible products. Thank you, Godly Granny team, and please keep bringing it. That I assure you we will. Debbie G, I love Godly Granny. Purchased this because I trust Godly Granny with all my needs, from honey to skincare. All the products surpass my expectations. The bee pollen is no different, exactly as described, and I know that my body and mind is loving it. Thanks to Godly Granny for making products that I can fully trust. Pamela J. The bee pollen keeps me buzzing. Love the bee pollen. Definitely gives me energy. I put it in my breakfast mixture. I use non-fat Greek yogurt, fruit, sunflower seeds, walnuts, bee pollen, then pour honey over it and stir it up. It's delicious. Now, here's the thing about the bee pollen. This is not traditional bee pollen. A lot of bee pollen is old and comes with mold. This is fresh bee pollen. All that we do to it is scrape it, put it in a jar, slap a label on it. There's no preservatives. There's no additives. There's no non-caking agents. This is one ingredient in a jar. And I'll be honest, I think we launched this pretty close to a year ago now. And I know it's been one of her best sellers. And it used to be, if you would have asked me what my favorite product was, I would have said Terminator or the Wild Yam. And I still love both of those. Or a tincture. Now, heaven forbid I can't be without my ashwagandha and licorice tincture. Turmeric tincture for pain. But I digress. If I was a viewer and I knew enough that I could trust Godly Granny and her team, and I knew I needed to feel better quickly, no matter what was wrong with me, this would be my go-to. I tell everybody, everybody's different. Everybody's got a different chemical load, metallic load. Everybody's got a different medicine mode, and everybody's diet's different. You live in a different part of the country. Maybe more spraying, maybe more heat. But if you want to feel better quickly, this is the one. Now, some people don't like the way it tastes. I think one person said twice that she didn't like the way it tasted. I think she said it tastes like asparagus. I'm not making light of that. I'm saying, to me, it tastes like bee candy. I love the way it tastes. I miss it. If I go somewhere and spend the night and forget it, not only do I miss how it makes me feel, I miss the taste of it. I miss the consistency of it. You can certainly add it to smoothies or anything. I just chew it outright, with something to drink. The cool thing is I try to underpromise and overdeliver, even though I'm very forthright and bold in what I say about the products that we formulate, because we do it and we know what goes in it. And we've been doing this for such a long time. This one, though, and I'm staying here for a minute because I want to give it its due. I always get nerves when people say, how fast will I feel it? Because everybody's different, right? But I have medically been through a lot. And I felt this in 2.5 to 3 days. 2.5 to 3 days. And I'm older, don't sleep the best at night, have issues. That's almost Amazon Prime. And I know the condition my body was in. So if I can feel it in 2.5, 3 days, I feel fairly secure in saying that most people will. I just looked over Beloved Warrior and just saw this question. The shelf life of the bar soaps are 5 years. 5 years. And it actually won't go bad, then it just may lose its scent. So that's the bee pollen. Now I want to talk about bee pollen has cousins, first cousins, and that's Godly Granny's all natural organic honey. Now, she's got different kinds. She's got wild crafted. She's got homespun. She's got whipped. Now, I'm going to let you in on a little secret. Ron, you back me up here. I'm taking my life in my hands right now. In about 30 days, get your calendar, in roughly 30 days, give or take, there's a product launch coming. Maybe her biggest product launch to date. I'm not allowed to tell you what it is. However, you are going to be so excited. I cannot wait. And you're going to need a jar of honey for it. All of them are beautiful, but you need to either get the orange blossom, the lemon blossom, or the wildflower for what's coming. And the reason I picked those three, first of all, those three are the most popular. The vanilla bean is very popular too, but you don't need the vanilla bean for this particular thing. And so the shelf doesn't have as many of those as I wish it had. We got a few weeks. If I were you, and I would add to cart today one of those, because you're going to be very, very glad you did. And I want you to listen out for the big drop that's coming that's going to have that in it. That's all I'm allowed to say, but you can write that down. Clock is ticking. All right. We talked about tinctures last time. We're going to talk about tinctures this time because there's a lot of them. And because you guys are ordering them like crazy, and I want to make sure you understand them, what they will do, what they are for, what they're not for, how to take them, who can take them, what to take them with, what time of day to take them. Because I realized, Michelle just cracks me up because she loves to put an adjective on products, what it'll do, whether it's clarifying or detoxifying or remineralizing or whatever it is. And so I remember when I said, okay, the first tincture we're going to launch is ashwagandha. And she's like, what does it do? And I'm like, it would be quicker for me to tell you what it doesn't do. And I realized class was in session and would constantly be in session. So I'm going to read a little more from my notes than I normally do when I'm alone, but I don't want to leave anything out. This is so important. First of all, let's talk a little bit about what they come in. They come in micron violet glass with a black childproof dropper. Everybody else's generally comes in amber glass. And I'm not knocking anybody else that put theirs in. Yes, I am. Yes, I am. Those don't last a year or two at most if they're full strength, and they're not full strength. Ours are full strength. That means it's got something to pull all the goodie out of the herb and nothing else. And that's all it needs. So these are all singles. They're all certified organic. They're all full strength. They're all alcohol based. We will have glycerol ones coming out, but these are the strongest that you can get. And yes, teenagers can use these too, as long as you follow the directions on the side. So let's talk about, why the violet glass? That's the one container that we can't get from the United States because it's only made in Holland. And we do that because it literally protects the frequency of the herb. Everything is vibrating. The herbs are alive. And we put them in here to steep for 4 to 6 weeks at the very least is how long they steep, to draw out all the good things, all the botanicals, all the tannins, all the terpenes, and the various things that are in the herbs. The herbal frequency is what's healing to the human body. And that's what we have to protect. We have to protect it from light, and we have to protect it as much as we can from heat, but light being the most important. So I tell people all the time, if you want to buy something that's in amber, throw it out after a year, 2 years at the very max, throw it out. These, at the very least, if you kept it in your kitchen window, wide open to the external light, this would last 5 years. If you kept it in your car in the heat, it would last about, in the dark, like the glove compartment, it would last about 7 years. If you put it in a pantry where there's no light on it, except for when you flick the light on, it can last up to 10 years. And they're very reasonably priced. So you don't have to worry about, well, I don't want to spend and it go bad. It's not going to go bad. This needs to be, everybody needs a wellness kit at home with everything that's going on. We never know whether the lights are going to go out or not, whether there's going to be a war or not, whether there's going to be a come to Jesus moment before the real come to Jesus moment or not, whether there's going to be the scare of humanity or not. Not to mention all the crazy weather and the earthquakes and the tornadoes and the flooding and the fires. You got to have a wellness kit for your family. And that's another reason I'm going over this again. A lot of these tinctures do many things. The issue is how it's done. Remember, we talk about all the time how your body can get used to something, even something good. So after you've been doing something for 3 to 6 months, you need to swap up and do something else. Let me tell you how that affects you. So let's say that your favorite shampoo, like my favorite shampoo is the Strengthen and Shine. That's my favorite one. But after 3 to 4 months, I know my body needs something new because it's kind of gotten used to that. So I can go to one of the others, any of her other shampoos that I want to go to, and then keep flip-flopping back and forth. So it's very important that you learn the main thing that your tincture is known for, and then all the additional benefits it can do, which is why I almost always tell people, if you are stressed, and that can include you can't lose weight, difficulty sleeping, all of those things, you want to hurt somebody, you can't go on anymore, your burnout has burnout, your decision fatigue, as somebody said to me today, you want ashwagandha and licorice together. Now, you can take them at 2 different times a day. I prefer taking them together. I like taking them in the evening, a few hours before I go to bed. Now, if I am also either detoxing, deworming, anything else, fighting cancer with any of the tinctures or the protocols, I will take it a little earlier in the day, because 2 to 3 hours after taking wormwood, clove, one that's about to drop in a couple of weeks, that kills a different kind of parasite in a different way, then you're going to want to take a binder 2 to 3 hours afterward. But you don't want to take a binder after ashwagandha and licorice root or any of the others that we have, because a binder, and Michelle's got 2 dropping very, very soon. I know one's activated charcoal. Forgive me, I can't remember what the second one is. But anything that you take, that you eat or consume or put on topically 2 hours prior to a binder is going to come out. So you don't want to pull anything out that's good. But you also don't want to take ashwagandha and licorice together in the morning, because it may give you that woosh-ah feeling of I'm relaxed. I'm not saying it will put you to sleep, although it will help. So I like taking mine about 5 o'clock in the evening on an empty stomach, and then having a nice meal, and then going to bed. Then I'm ready to go to bed a few hours later. The other thing we talk about is bedtime. Make bedtime sacred. Your body heals between 10 p.m. and 2 a.m. That's when all your memories get stored for the day. That's when your telomeres get trimmed. That's the repair window for your body. So don't doom scroll up until 9:59, because your body's got to decompress from that blue light. Be asleep by 10. And the ashwagandha and the licorice root will help you do that. Now, if it's work stress, little one stress, any kind of just daily beat up, if that's you, get the licorice. That's the most important for that. Okay, they do a lot of other things, because this helps with digestion. If your cortisol is lower, you can lose belly fat when you're older. It does a lot of other things. But I'm telling you, in today's world, as stressed as we are, with as much sleeping problems as we have, ashwagandha and licorice root together, golden. And you can take them at the same time or at different times. Just don't take a binder 2 hours later. Okay, next up, we've got burdock root and dandelion root. Now, again, you can do any of these as singles. I like to do singles, because when I read the side, and please be very specific with the directions on the side and make sure that you follow them implicitly. The reason I like burdock root and dandelion root together is because we've got to get our body moving. We've got to get the lymph going. We've got to get the liver cleanse going. We've got to get the blood purified, whether or not we are detoxing or deworming or fighting cancer. That has to happen all the time. If you're not pooping after every meal, every time you eat, from the length of the tip of your middle finger to your elbow, and I know you're not doing that because I'm not doing that, then you've got sludge and buildup in the lower part of your body. So let's talk about burdock root and dandelion root. Remember these together as Granny's old school blood purifier herbs, traditional herbal language for plants associated with supporting the body's elimination pathways. We're talking about, now that our blood's no longer boiling from ashwagandha and licorice root, because we've just had the Walton Sisters remedy for those two, right? We can move on to moving it out of the body. So think burdock for skin, liver, lymph, and elimination. Skin, liver, lymph, and elimination. Dandelion for liver, gallbladder, digestion, and elimination, and both for purifying blood. You know, Michelle said to me not long ago that somebody that she knows, I believe is an iridologist, she told me, said that nobody's blood looks healthy anymore under a microscope. Most people don't even know that they can or need to clean their blood. But the thing is about a lot of blood cleaners, they don't help it move out of your system. They don't push it on through the digestive system, because this is orally, even though you're not swallowing it straight to the digestive system like you would of food, because this is going in through your gums and your tongue long before it ever gets there. So it's sublingual. It's very important that you know that. It's cleaning up after you. This is the cleanup crew. So if you aren't going to the bathroom well, if you're not digesting things well, if you feel like your liver needs a good tonic, it's these two, burdock and dandelion. Next up, for all of you in pain who love the Terminator and the muscle recovery cream line, turmeric. If the thing that made you need ashwagandha and licorice is also a very real pain in your derriere, the curcumin in turmeric is why this golden root is so well known for supporting a healthy inflammatory response. I call this my head, shoulders, knees, and toes tincture. Think inflammatory response, antioxidant, joints, mobility, range of motion, and yes, digestion. And remember, curcumin is turmeric's best known constituent, but it's not the whole plant. God didn't grow curcumin in a capsule, or that's what we should take. I tell people all the time, God didn't grow that in a pill. He grew turmeric root, and we plucked it. So head, shoulders, knees, and toes, and that infamous pain in your derriere. Turmeric. Next up, echinacea and elderberry. We talked about these last week. Coming into cold and flu and God only knows what else season. Next are twins from another mother, echinacea and elderberry. If somebody in your house sneezes and everybody starts to look at each other like somebody just pulled the pin on a grenade, these are the two I want coming to mind. Think immune system, seasonal crud, and unwanted microscopic house guests. Different plants, different constituents, but they're headed to the same family reunion. Because when one kid comes home carrying something he didn't leave with, sharing may be Christian, but Granny didn't mean germs. So that's your elderberry and your echinacea. Now, I think the elderberry tincture tastes nice, but again, these aren't for taste. These are to heal you. Next up, milk thistle. If burdock and dandelion are housekeeping, milk thistle is standing at the liver's front door asking, what in the world have y'all been doing in here? Its superstar compounds are collectively called silymarin. And this is the herb I want you to remember when you hear liver. Does it differently than the last liver we just talked about. I called milk thistle the designated driver of the herbal world. Everybody else can carry on. Milk thistle is worried about getting the liver home in one piece. And no, taking milk thistle doesn't mean you can treat your liver like a rental car. Milk thistle equals liver, liver, liver. If your liver had Granny's phone number, it would order its own bottle. So this is liver specific. Ginger root. If your stomach has decided to reject the day's agenda, think nausea, motion sickness, digestion, bloating, gas, and general belly rebellion. Ginger's naturally occurring gingerols have antioxidant and anti-inflammatory activity, so don't pigeonhole it as just a tummy herb. I call this sit down Sally tincture. Stomach flipping, sit down Sally. Car ride making you green, sit down. Ate something that's renegotiating the terms of its lease, sit down Sally. Ginger root equals belly, motion, digestion, and warming inflammatory support. Okay, next up. The next one was my favorite tincture until licorice came along. Mullein leaf. Remember lungs. Mullein is a classic respiratory herb. Coughs, cold, flu, bronchitis, pleurisy, pneumonia, smoker, vapor, COPD. This is all for you. Traditionally used to soothe irritated respiratory tissues and help with mucus and congestion that apparently moved into your chest without signing a lease. Think lungs, bronchial passages, cough, mucus, postnasal drip, and respiratory comfort. I call this Granny's eviction notice. So mullein leaf is lungs, mucus, cough, respiratory comfort. It can help coat the throat and for postnasal drip. Whether your lungs start sounding like Uncle Tucker's tractor, this is why I made a joke about Uncle Grover a while ago, serve the eviction notice. And yes, that's Tucker's tractor. Now Grover had to sell it. Medicare stepped in. It was a whole thing. Next up, oregano. The winter is coming. The winter is coming, oreganos. This is the one I want you to remember when everybody starts coughing, sneezing, and passing around seasonal crud like it's a church casserole dish. I love pairing this with the mullein. Oregano and mullein together are beautiful. Oregano contains carvacrol and thymol, studied for antimicrobial and antioxidant activity. Traditionally think respiratory support, immune support, and digestion. Oregano is the aunt who heard something was going around and showed up with her purse already packed. She doesn't know what's happening yet. She just knows she's ready. The oregano in your spice cabinet may have introduced you, but this is not spaghetti night. Oregano equals immunity, respiratory, gut, and seasonal preparedness. It's also great if you're traveling, as is the mullein, and especially if it's on a plane. So oregano heard winter was coming and boarded up the windows. Next up, we have got wormwood and clove. All right, where are all my little anti-parasite parachuters? Remember, full moon. Do this up starting 2 to 3 days before a full moon. Wormwood and clove go together. You can do one or the other, but they're stronger together, and they work differently on the same parasites, and they work on different parasites and eggs. So they go together like ebony and ivory, but on Sonny and Cher. Think digestive system and the traditional parasite conversation. Wormwood has a long history as a bitter digestive herb and an anthelmintic, the fancy herbal word for something traditionally used against intestinal worms. Clove brings eugenol, studied for antimicrobial and antioxidant activity. That's why you'll often hear wormwood and clove together in traditional herbal parasite protocols. It's less ebony and ivory and more, I got you, babe. Responsible glasses. Now, wormwood is not an everyday take it forever herb. It's very strong. It contains thujone, so dose and duration matter. Pregnant or breastfeeding women and people with certain medical conditions or medications need to avoid it or seek professional guidance. Clove can also act with certain medications, particularly blood thinners. So think of wormwood as Sonny and clove as Cher. And if something uninvited has taken up residence, they've got you, babe. Now, I want to go over some questions. And this would be a good time to throw them out there if you've got any more. And then we'll talk a little bit about closing. So going back, Grammy, I'm sorry, I should have done these first. Donna C says, wormwood tincture does the trick. It's the first time I've ever used wormwood. Going by Eve's description, it sounded like exactly what I was looking for. I reread the descriptor and usage directions. I began with 5 drops 2 times a day for 3 days and went up to 10 drops 2 times a day for a few more. I started my second week with 15 to 20 drops. I do add my drops to hydrogenated water. This truly helped me with my digestive system. I was able to have a daily bowel movement much easier, and I had occasional heartburn, which disappeared. Oh, I'm sorry. Which disappeared. No, omeprazole magnesium tablet required. Healing via organic and natural ways is always the direction I seek. This organic wormwood tincture has done the trick for me. I am now following directions and will reset, exactly right, and see where I'm at before resuming again. I so appreciate how Godly Granny makes their products using only the best ingredients with a clean processing. As I have said with other GG products, I feel healthier, body, mind, and spirit. That's fantastic, Donna. That's a fantastic review. Abby G, cystic acne. Deep, painful cystic acne on my entire chin has been such a battle for so long, but not anymore. I've been using the burdock root tincture, and it's all but disappeared. I cannot recommend the tinctures enough. Great job. Abby. Sandra J., stomach upset. I just recently tried the ginger tincture as I was having lots of stomach problems and nothing else was working. I started low at 5 drops once per day. Well, after 2 days, all my stomach problems left. I was having real bad heartburn and just stomach pain. I'm still taking ginger every day for a week or two just to make sure the problems are completely gone. I love all the tinctures and I'm excited to see what's next. Thank you for these wonderful tinctures, Michelle and Eve. You are so welcome. So there you go. You don't have to take my word for it. Let's go back to these questions. Grammy 114B7G. I love my Godly Granny scrubs. They leave my skin feeling nice and hydrated. Grammy, I'd love to know which is your favorite. Cousadoo 77. Love the scrubs. Vanilla patchouli is my favorite. Now, see, I don't know you, but I know that about you, and I can't wait to meet you at the boot camp. Plus, I love the microdermabrasion too. I'm sure producer Ron would agree with that one. Reliable beauty reviews. Thank you for what an incredible job you do with Godly Granny products. We so enjoy watching those. The Hawaiian avocado scrub is my fave too. Cousadoo 77. I love the small granules in the scrub. It's wonderful for your face. I think she means the superfood scrub. Grammy 114. My bonus daughter gets a fungus on her hands. I bought her the antifungal. The problem is gone. Absolutely. That's what it's for. Beloved Warrior 22, the shelf life of the bar soaps. We discussed that. It's 5 years. They really never go bad. They will just start losing the scent of their essential oil after 5 years. Jason's mom, Eve, we need more products with red cocoa scent, please. I brought that up in a phone call with Michelle 2 days ago. 2 days ago, Michelle, if you're watching, everybody loves red cocoa, especially for the fall. Decreaseman, love the Shea sprays. Yes. Cousadoo, love this bee pollen, love the taste. Thank you, Cousadoo, for that. Reliable beauty reviews. I love the bee pollen in Greek yogurt. Absolutely. Cousadoo, how about for constipation? What's good for that? Funny you should ask. That's the very next drop that's coming up. Which one is best for pain in muscles and bones? That's the turmeric. The turmeric is wonderful for that. And then we have the 2 bee propolis reviews to cover. Ron, can you pull those up? Now, this is the bee propolis healing cream with turmeric. If you've got any skin issue, this will heal it. Can I see the reviews? Jackie, I healed in a week. I had some skin tags removed under my arm. I had red lesions from the procedure. I used the lemon balm for a week until I got the bee propolis. The balm healed some, but in 4 days of using the bee propolis, the lesions were no longer red and sore. Within the week, they were completely healed over. This product is amazing. Okay, next up. Janet P. Cut my finger on a sharp object. Used bee propolis and it was completely healed in 2 days. Wow. For those of you that don't know, bee propolis is what bees use to keep the queen alive and healthy, to keep themselves alive and healthy, and to actually repair the hive. And it's doing the same for your body. Once again, I want to thank Michelle for having me, and thank Ron for having to stare at me for an hour and get me through the live. And most of all, I mostly behaved, Michelle. You know, I think Ron will attest to that because I want her to have me back sometime. I want to thank all of you from the bottom of my heart for coming to her show every day and for allowing me to come in and visit, for caring about your health and the health of those that you love, because that's our job. Keep asking questions, keep reading labels, keep letting us know what you need. This has been the Michelle Moore Show. Thank you.
Ever read the ingredients on your everyday products and think, wait, is this shampoo or a science experiment? If your lotion needs a translator, a lab coat, and a warning label, it might be time for a change. Godly Granny products are made with purpose, love, and ingredients you can actually recognize. No mystery chemicals, no toxins, just clean, simple goodness. The way Granny would have wanted, because your skincare shouldn't require a chemistry degree. From shampoo, lotion, skincare, and all natural health remedies, Godly Granny has everything your family needs. It's no wonder we have over 1,200 5-star reviews from our amazing customers to prove it. Join the families just like yours who've switched to Godly Granny. Visit godlygranny.com and sign up for our emails to receive a special discount code for 10% off your first order, plus exclusive updates and information on newly released products.
Hi, I'm Linda Bamber Olson, the inventor of the Wave Watch, the world's first frequency therapy watch. It features over 1,100 targeted frequencies combined into 150 playlists for ease of use. These sounds are acoustical and they move through your body, through your skin and your bones. You don't necessarily have to hear it. As each frequency goes through, it can be realigning, revitalizing, reconnecting, and even rebalancing your body all the way to the cellular level. So that's why we have so many testimonies for aches, ADD and ADHD, allergies, colds and flu, dental, emotions, headaches, joints, kidney stones, nerves, organs, skin health, swelling, tremors, vagus nerve, and so many more. Use this code for $100 off when you purchase the Wave Watch. Thanks for learning about frequencies, using them, and supporting the Wave Watch.
Universal Coin and Bullion is my partner for gold, silver, rare coins, and precious metal IRAs. For over 30 years, they've helped more than 500,000 customers and completed over 2.6 billion in precious metals transactions. They're offering callers 2 1-ounce American Silver Eagles and a 1/10 ounce American Gold Eagle at actual dealer cost. Call Universal Coin and Bullion today.
For Michelle's social media links, go to michellemooreshow.com.